Hello, sociology students. Welcome to Unit 2, Culture. So, day 1, in charge of watching that crash course video. I want to talk a little bit about how we will define culture in sociology. Okay, culture is, quote, the accumulated body of society's existing knowledge that has been built over time and passed from generation to generation. So, the accumulated body of society's existing knowledge that has been built over time and passed from generation to generation. Okay, the products that the people of a society create. These include objects, beliefs, values, and behaviors. Non-material forms of culture would be ideas, and material would be physical things. All right. So we are going to talk about the 3-stage process of culture. First is externalization. That first stage is externalization. So any shared social experience. That could be a shared opinion of a phenomenon or a social experience. And it's agreed upon shared experience. An example of that would be the Columbine shooting in 1999 or even 9/11. Okay, so we'll talk about 9/11. It's a shared social experience. So that would be stage 1 is experiencing 9/11. Stage 2, objectivization. Okay, that is the agreement becomes the social object. Okay, the law or morale is developed. Okay? An example after 9/11. 9/11 was stage 1, right? Externalization. Then we move into the objectivation. Example, liquid ban on flights, right? Liquids must be 3 ounces or less and sealed in a plastic bag, as well as full body scanners pictured below. That all changed. Security, as we knew it, changed after 9/11. As well as after the Columbine shooting in 1999, stricter ban on guns and lockdown drills, right? Most of the elementary school students don't necessarily know about the Columbine shooting in 1999, even middle school and high school students, but that is a huge reason as to why we do those today. The third stage is internalization. Okay, so children are raised with that social object, okay, and the knowledge of the phenomenon without having to experience it. Okay, so over passage of time, though, that phenomenon can be lost, right, when we're thinking about culture. So, how many of you knew who Richard Reed was? He was a shoe bomber who attempted to light his shoe bomb on a flight from Paris to Miami in 2001. That drastically changed airport security as well. But most people don't even know who Richard Reed is. Most students will eventually forget about Columbine, but they'll continue to go through lockdown drills. So it's children raised with that social object without actually having to experience stage 1, externalization. We'll talk about this graphic in a bit. Feel free to take a look at it on your own. So, continuing to talk about that 3-stage process, I want to focus on 2 examples. First are, why are food, beverages, and medicines sealed in plastic? And number 2, why do the words "In God We Trust" appear on American currency? Okay, that is where we'll keep going for today. Okay, the externalization. So I said we were going to focus on 2 questions. This first question here, why are food, beverages, and medicines sealed in plastic? Well, the externalization. Tylenol murderers in Chicago in 1982. Drugstores were broken into. Tylenol was replaced with cyanide. Okay, terrible. That was a horrible external thing that happened. The objectivation was Congress passed a law that everything must be safely packaged. Okay, that's why you see all of those seals over medicine today. Internalization. Everything is pre-packed. But most of the time when I ask classes that, they don't know why. But it's just a part of our culture now that went through that 3-stage process. Second question, why do the words "In God We Trust" appear on American currency? Well, externalization during the Cold War fight against communism. Okay, so while the Cold War was going on, that was the event. Objectivation. Dwight Eisenhower, President Eisenhower, wanted the words introduced to show America's connection to religion. All right. Then that internalization is today we see the phrase on many things, but we really don't realize where it came from. Okay. And then there's false assumption about why it says "In God We Trust" that has always existed. Okay. So we can see how these different pieces of culture go through the 3-stage process in both of these scenarios. All right, now I want you to think about as we close here. In this day and age, in an ever changing and interconnected world, are we losing culture or gaining it? And what is cancel culture? All right, so that is what we have for you today.